Perhaps you remember where you were for this golden moment. 25 years ago today, Canadian Donovan Bailey won the 100-meter race in Atlanta, setting a new world record and securing his spot in Olympic history. And Donovan Bailey joins us now. Donovan, 25 years to the night. When you think back to that moment, to that race, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Ian, great to see you. You know what? I think that it's amazing that 25 years later we're celebrating, this amazing sporting moment with fans in Canada, with fans around the world, and I think that I love it. I've been humbled, and there's a ton of people have reached out to me today, and I'm very happy. And I don't know what else I could say.
Well, listen, I've talked to you a few times, and I've never asked you the question I want to ask you now, and I've always wanted to know the answer. Seconds after the race, that picture that so many people will remember, we're looking at it now on the screen, a big smile, more than a smile, your mouth is wide open. Do you remember, what were you thinking at that moment?
You know what, at that very moment, actually, I was, Dan, my coach, always sits, right parallel to the finish line. So, and he sits there just to kind of assess my, my technique and kind of, what my race formula. And I really kind of just turned to look at Dan. I was looking at Dan and kind of go, we did it, buddy, that sort of thing. So it wasn't, it's a goal accomplished. And Dan was there, and I knew that he and I were going to have words after because he knew that I essentially didn't execute properly, but I did win and I did break the world record.
People need to know that race, it was an extraordinary finish, but also at the beginning, I was at the CBC Broadcast Center in Atlanta watching the monitor. There were a few people there, all of whom could have won that race. I mean, you were up against an incredible field and you overcame the pressure. And of course, you finished first. You are an Olympic champion. There is a young man in Tokyo right now that knows what that pressure feels like. Andre deGrasse, probably the best sprinter we've had in this country since you were at the top of your game. What do you think he's going through right now, just days away from his race?
Well, one, I think that Andre has managed his season very well. He's not let the pressure of the Diamond League get to him. He clearly knows that there's no urgency for him to run majorly fast during the Diamond League. So I think he's playing a little possum. I totally believe that mentally and physically he's capable of winning in Tokyo, and I look forward to seeing him race.
We have just maybe 30 seconds left, Donovan. Nobody in the stands, no huge crowds in Tokyo. Will that make a difference, do you think?
Well, yes, it definitely. I mean, if you look at what Simone Biles did, I mean, it's clear that when you're a star and you're used to the big crowds, it does give you that extra edge. And there are going to be athletes that are not used to competing under the lights and under the pressure of a lot of audience. That's going to do very well. So I think that the Canadian team has been well prepared. I think that we will bring back a couple of gold medals, but there certainly, Ian, are going to be some athletes that are going to shine when the lights are on, and then there's gonna be a few athletes that's going to falter just because of the fact of that that ambiance and that electricity is not going to be in their field of play.
25 years ago tonight, you were an Olympic champion in the 100 meters, and I should point out, 1 week later, an Olympic champion again with your teammates in the 4x100 relay. Two fantastic moments for Canadian sports. Donovan, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you. And for everyone, get out there and let's cheer this Canadian team on so we can bring back some gold and listen to the Canadian anthem.